to Hips TV, the first all plus size panel talk show, where we bring you our weekly roundup on all things politics, pop culture, fashion, and more. Now, you probably know by now that we have done a nationwide casting call to see who will join the ladies of Hips TV, and today we are so excited to have Miss Brianna Powell join the ladies of Hips TV, and we want to see what Miss Powell will bring to the table. Please let me introduce my beautiful co-hosts, Nzinga, Kimberly, and of course, I'm Joy. Ladies, ready to get into the mix with Hips?
Ready.
Let's begin.
So, ladies, if your partner had a fetish that you could not fulfill, would you give them a pass for a month?
What kind of, you mean like a hall pass?
Like a hall pass. Okay,
like a pass. Like a pass to go and get freaky dicky with anybody?
Exactly.
Now, why gotta be a month? Is my question. You can do a whole lot in a month. But I think you just probably need one
Like
night?
a weekend?
But I think the bigger issue is, do they get a pass an hour, 30 minutes, or a month? Like, do they get to do it?
Oh,
I mean, do you think you would be able?
Pass for me.
Do you think you will be able? Okay. So here's the thing. Like, are any of? Okay, I know Kim and Nzinga aren't married. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'm not married either. But marriage is an interesting dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't saying I'm down for the swirl, but what I am saying is, you gotta keep stuff spicy and fresh.
Okay.
Keep it spicy with me.
We know you nasty.
I like
All the
fetishes.
way.
Okay.
You like fetishes?
I like men who have fetishes.
But this is something that you can't
Oh, no.
fulfill. So it's
I
not
know.
a fetish that you're
So
into.
this is what I'm saying. If I'm open already, it shouldn't be much that I can't fulfill.
So he was just
But you
mad.
ain't getting no hall pass, okay? You can hall pass yourself out the door.
Oh.
So you will oblige whatever his curiosity,
I'll
whatever
try almost
door,
anything.
whatever door his curiosity wants to go into.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I always said for my husband that would be the case, but there are some things I just won't get down. And I just see
True.
some nasty stuff on the
Yeah.
internet.
Me
So
too.
I don't know. If I find out my husband is into some really nasty stuff, I'm gonna have to reconsider.
Yeah, you know what? Because I mean, fetish. You
Yeah.
know, we don't know what fetish. Because fetish is just a really broad
It is.
scope. And
Yes.
here's some things. Because I know what you mean, Nzinga, as it relates to this is your husband and the bedroom is undefiled and you
True.
are able to go there because that's your husband.
Right.
But things, in my opinion, like bestiality,
Ugh.
that crosses the line. But that's a fetish, right?
Which is illegal in the state of Georgia, by the way.
Yeah, lots of stuff, a lot of things are illegal, right? That don't stop people from doing it, right? So there are certain things where I'm just like, to have sex with an animal, girl. I mean, you said you'll try anything once. I'm trying to
Now,
figure out
I said
what your
almost
line is.
anything. I said almost anything. But if I
Exactly.
can't fulfill it, then we're going to have a conversation. I don't know how we're going to overcome those objections.
Yeah,
But if it's something that I really just won't do,
yeah.
you can't have a hall pass.
I'm just saying down with no fetishes in it. Fetish is just disgusting. You going
I thought you
pervert
just
bin.
said you was down.
I'm nasty.
Down.
Normal nasty.
Who nasty?
Normal nasty.
Is there such a thing as normal nasty?
It's normal.
Yeah.
Nasty? Normal is
Explain.
normal freakiness.
What's normal nasty?
Right, explain.
Normal. I'm talking about. When I hear the word fetish, I think of sickness. I think of you're going extreme.
So extreme is
Yes. And so when someone says they have a fetish, automatically they go in that bent of you have to achieve a pinnacle of sexual fulfillment to be able to be satisfied. And then on a psychological scale, I'm looking at it like what's really going on.
I agree.
So I cannot get into the whole fetish thing. It's like we are as humans, we can please each other. The fact that people are going overboard with these fetishes, there's some underlying issue that's going on. So I'm gonna be more concerned about what's really going on.
Yeah, what's
You
the
can't-
deeper
Yes.
issue to where you can't
Yes.
get
Y'all
satisfied?
making that
Y'all making
fetishes.
Right.
Yeah, y'all
It's not that
It is that
extreme.
deep.
But
It's
not
that
every
deep.
fetish.
not
that-
everyone.
People have foot fetishes where they may want to
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's
No.
but the question
No.
was something that you cannot fulfill.
Yeah, maybe
And-
you're not down with the feet stuff.
Right.
I mean, but that's like a
Yeah.
foot thing is basic. We're talking about
I
like
know.
if you're having sex with a plastic dummy. You know, you've seen them little dummies.
Wait, oh, that's a fetish? Okay, then that's
Okay.
You can have sex with the dummy? Why do you need to have sex with the dummy when he got all of this right
I
here?
might not be one.
I guess no one been on Pornhub lately.
Right, there's all
Okay,
kinds of
Well,
stuff.
I don't want to double.
Well, we're not even gonna go there. While we're on pleasing your man, recently Tamar Braxton cut off all her hair, and she said that it's a woman's job to keep herself hip and trendy to please her man. Do you agree with that?
I think it's a woman's job just to be whatever she needs it to be.
Right.
I don't know if it has to necessarily be about pleasing her man. Now, we do certain things to get their attention.
Right.
You know what I mean? We do certain things so that they can be like, go ahead, girl, you walking in here looking like a whole snack, okay? You know, so we do those things, right?
Yes.
But I don't know if you should do it just because he wants it, because what if you don't want it?
Exactly.
And
You don't want to feel succumb.
You don't want to be, you feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And so I think there's some, I mean, we love you, Tamar. We have a Tamar right here.
Tamar.
Right. And I think there's some other things that are going on in their marriage and some things that you will do in order to keep them happy, right? But I don't know if we should do, because here's the thing, we're two individuals coming into a marriage. And so there are still some things that I need to still own myself. It doesn't mean that I won't bend, right? Yeah. But I don't know, like, if cutting your hair, like, if you don't want to cut your hair, Brianna, and he likes it, then he just might need to see you in a scully.
No, because well, see, that's what wigs and weaves are for.
Right.
I think naturally women do what their man likes.
Yeah.
And it's just because, you know, like, after you start to know someone, you start to see, oh, his eyes got a little bit brighter with this long hair instead of that short hair.
But do you really think that she cut her hair off for him?
No.
I think
don't.
it was something that we know Tamar.
Yes.
Tamar is not one of those people she gonna go the opposite direction. But I think it was something that she was open to. Now we know some things that are going on with their marriage.
Exactly.
And I believe in, don't quote me on this, but it's Audrey Hepburn that said a woman that cuts her hair is a woman that's ready to change the world.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think Tamar is at that point.
I agree.
And she's embracing that, and it's like, why not? And she probably said, babe, what you think? I'm thinking about shut. And he's like, you know what? We don't know what's going on. Maybe he's like, you know what? If this is a new you, if this is something you want to tap into, I'm gonna love it. You like it, I love it.
This is like, he's just like, do what you want to do.
Well, the fact is, I'm not together at anything.
They're together.
But the thing is, you're saying that it's her job to please him, or that she, like, whatever you change it is, whatever change you make is to please him. But really, I think he's gonna like whatever you do.
Exactly.
And that's the real.
I don't know.
Don't put me in a box.
He can say that he doesn't, but normally whenever you switch it up, he's
no,
gonna be like,
I don't.
"Ooh."
Listen, I was dating a guy, and I took my good old wig off, and I wanted to rock my natural. You know,
Wait, what was under there?
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me help you, though, okay? Because I got a nice crop of hair, okay? But I wanted to rock my natural hair, like a natural twist out or whatever. And he was like, "Babe, you cute," but I mean, now he liked mine. He liked mine. But he said every woman can't do that hairstyle.
But that's a
But it's
cop-out.
true.
Because,
No.
For him
it's
to say he
true.
likes yours, that's the only person he need to be worried
No,
about.
exactly. It's true, but it doesn't mean that he's like, it don't look, because everything doesn't look good on everybody.
True, but we are versatile.
That don't mean it look good on you, though.
I think it's all about how you rock it, and I think anything can look good on anybody as long as they're confident in it. And I truly
That's not. I don't believe.
Oh no, I would wear a paper sack.
I've seen some confident.
I don't believe that.
If you go out on Saturday night on Peachtree and I see some confidence, and I'm like, no,
that still don't work.
That wasn't the move.
That still doesn't work. Yeah, I don't believe that.
I don't know. They on the street at night. They probably don't.
No, don't do that. Don't do
It's
that.
more important to stay happy with what you like and what you want to do.
Yeah, I agree.
And then if your partner has a problem with it, then you guys
talk
can
about
have a conversation. Don't put me in a box and say that. I think the thing with why it was controversial for Tamar to say that is because she only wore blonde wigs. She always had her hair in a certain color because that's what he liked. Don't put me in a box.
Is that what? But do we know that for sure? That he?
We know that for sure.
He liked the blonde hair.
We know that from
Is that
Tamar
because he
and
liked
Vince.
Becky's? Is that because he liked? Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, so I mean, it's not a secret.
Okay,
but don't put me in a box.
I didn't know that bald head was trending right now. So
I feel like bald is always regal.
I think bald is it, and I do think
didn't
it's
know
regal
it was
too.
trending.
With what? Come on now. She was very smart to go ahead and bust
Everybody.
that out. I ain't
But
gonna
even
lie.
before that, though. But even before that, I always thought that having a shorter cut. Because can I be honest with y'all?
Yes.
I want to cut mine.
No.
I do. No, excuse me.
Don't
Not my
do
man.
her like do not do her like
You're not my man.
I wouldn't do it, but
That was a sincere
I
no.
want to cut it. Now I don't know if I'm like all the way there. Your no doesn't mean anything. But I think I want to cut it. Like
What about a Toni Braxton? Sure.
See, because I don't want to relax her,
Oh.
so I kind of want to just
See,
go there. Because here's the deal.
Like Sanaa Lathan?
Yeah, because here's the deal. Because we wear units so often,
Yes.
I can always put it back on if it's
Exactly.
not working and just let my hair grow back
I'm
out.
sorry.
Versatile.
Because to me, you have the cheeks in the round face like me. And so I got a big old pie face.
You got a pie face. I don't have a pie face.
Don't claim that over her life. Don't claim it over her life.
Now y'all see, I be putting my hair in I be framing my face like,
But in the words of India Ari, we are not our
We
hair.
are not our hair.
So we can't be
But we
individually.
are.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
That's another
Empower
topic.
yourself.
Yeah, we could do it.
Well, speaking of fetishes and happiness, it's rumored that Melania Trump is unhappy in her marriage with all the rumors coming out about her, 45, coming out and his affairs and things of that sort, alleged. Let's make that good. Spankings and all that's going on. Do you believe she knew what she was getting herself into, and do you think we should feel sorry for her?
She knew, and no. She knew.
Really?
Donald Trump was married twice. Donald Trump was known to be a womanizer. Donald Trump was a playboy. He was the rich billionaire playboy that was known to have dealings with many, many women throughout his career. And so even though she's from another country, another country where she's from,
you ain't right.
even though she may not, but Donald Trump, to his credit, is a global name. And so you know him not only by his business dealings, but by his association.
I mean, but does anybody know what they're getting themselves into when they're dealing with a man?
And I would say there's some goodness to that, because you don't know what happens as your marriage goes, and you don't know what things that people get into.
And she was younger.
But things show up. Red flags are there, and we happen to ignore them far more often than we should.
The only thing she didn't know is that he was going to be president. Other than that, she was ready for everything.
She knew.
If anything, she's uncomfortable with being in the spotlight the way she is now. But she was fine when she was just his little housewife or whatever kind of wife she was.
In the penthouse in the Trump
Now it's just too much for her.
Right.
Well, I believe she knew pretty much the kind of man he was.
She knew.
And it was an arrangement. But I also believe this is the time, us as women, we are to be merciful. Because there's a lot of women, we have to have that compassion. We're always talking about women empowerment and all this thing. Why don't we give her to get outside? You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree with that.
There's a lot, but let me
It's
tell you,
easy to say you don't care.
This is on a national level.
Right.
There's a lot of women that are in the same position, okay? They get these propositions in marriages, and they know the man is not right. You don't know how she was raised, how she was conditioned to be able to even accept that.
You're grown, so you're grown.
No,
hang on. But you're an adult, and here's the challenge that I'm going to challenge you on: is that you have to take personal responsibility for your life. So it can't be when we don't know, she didn't know. No, you know a red flag when you see a red flag. We ignore.
There are women in Africa that
I'm talking about here.
Christian women.
No, I'm talking about women here. You are here. You knew Donald Trump. You knew his ways. You knew that he was married prior to you. You have to see the red flag when it comes.
But
and you dated, hang on 1 second. And you dated men before. And you know when you see the red flag, but we choose to ignore it.
How many of us see the red? I done seen a lot of red flags.
And you chose to ignore it.
And we ignore them.
Right. We ignore them. We ignore them all the time. So,
but I do agree with him on this, but because there were extenuating circumstances. Because she had to think about her family. Like she thought she was on the come up. She was doing something that she thought was going to put herself and her family in a better position. So on that, I can relate. And I can understand where she was.
No.
She did a lot of things to put herself out there.
Okay. So if you do that, I do. So if you do that, then you have to take responsibility for what comes with you doing what you got to do to put your family in a better position. So she knew it, and we see it, and we ignore it. How many? Come on, y'all. Let's be honest. We are our beautiful women up here, and we have dated men, and we see stinking red flags. And we ignore them. Donald Trump is a red flag. Not just his ways, but just who he is. Right. I mean, no diss to the people that like him, but I mean, we see what's unveiling now in the White House. Yes. We knew that he was going to be this type of president before he became the president, but we ignored the signs, and some of us voted for him. Yes. Right.
Why are you looking at me? What you doing? I love you.
Wait, that segued.
I love you, girl.
But I digress. And I do feel really strongly, and I don't want to overshadow and overtalk you ladies, but I feel like we do, and we ignore signs, and then we want people to feel sorry for our bad decision. And you're responsible for your life.
Okay, well, going forward, listen, everything you're saying is right. Okay, going forward, us as women,
do we have compassion?
Do we have compassion? And when I'm saying Melania, in my position, represents so many other women.
Very true.
So do we capitalize off of that and take the opportunity to point out and say, look, this happened to what she was getting into. you know,
But
no,
what do
we
we
don't
do
feel
now?
bad now, but this is what we got to do so that women are not in this position anymore. And men like him, a womanizer, cannot go around thinking that they can just, because we have to be smart. Women are smart. So I'm saying,
But sometimes we make silly decisions.
We do. But then
sometimes we make silly decisions. The point is, like, what is she going to do now? If you're
that's
very,
her
very,
fault. Whatever she needs to
You
do.
just
I know it's easy to say that you don't care.
No,
and
it's not that.
it's
Okay,
not
what
her
can we
fault.
do? What are we gonna do? Like smuggle her out of the White House? Be like, girl, come this way.
Well,
This
who
is
are
what-
her friends? Who are her support
I think we can use
system?
the narrative, change the narrative. Like here's the thing, like we're talking about it right now. Women are, if you're in this position, if
Exactly.
you went out there and you got in an arrangement, knowing better, the red flags was there. Now you're 10 years deep, you got a child, so and so, whoop, doing all these different things. You can get out.
You can get out.
And you can
Yeah.
change. You can change. So I think we as women,
But that's personal responsibility. You understand?
Right.
Like you have, and it is an
Absolutely.
evolution. It's an evolution because it's this thing where responsibility kind of grows and metastasizes, for lack of a better term. And so you get to a certain point where you're like, I gotta pull the plug on this. And I don't advocate for divorce, right? But if
she
you
need to get
well, there you go.
and I don't even do it. She need to go.
It is scary. It is scary. It is, and I agree. Woo! This has been a
That was
hot
deep.
one, baby. This is hot. And if you like what you saw today on Hips TV, make sure you keep up with us on all social media at Hips TV. Follow us on Facebook at My Hips TV, and of course on our YouTube channel as well. We will see you next Wednesday right here.
Hi, I'm Brianna Powell, and I am a finalist for Hips TV, the first all plus-size panel talk show.